Life success is a consistent, persistent process. So we're going to go through the process because we only have a few minutes. What is success? All right, 3 people, and I'm not stopping until I get them. 3 people, 3 show of hands. Just shout out what you think success is. Come on, you can do it. I'm up here. Success is happiness, and happiness is success. So which comes first, happiness or success? Happiness. All right, you think they go hand in hand? All right. Yeah, you know what? If you look at people on the outside, you might say some people are successful. You look at people in Hollywood and people, comedians, and you would think they have the world and they're so successful, then they end up dying and they kill themselves because they're not happy yet they're successful in our eyes. But you got to realize, how did they feel about who they were is the only thing that matters. It's their circle of responsibility, just like our circle of responsibility, our thoughts, our feelings, our actions. Because their thoughts are, oh my God, this is too much pressure. I hate this. I don't want to do this. I got all this money. I'm not happy. Boom, they die. Right? Because that's their thoughts, their feelings, are their actions. So what is success? Happiness? Balance. No, that doesn't count as 2. Balance. A life's balance to you is success. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm not letting you get off. Go ahead. You're looking quick. Go, shout it out. Yeah, you. Nice. Nice. Now we're getting somewhere. Nice. I've always searched for what success was because it used to beat me up. You know, was I going to be more successful than my brother? Was my brother more successful than me? My sister more successful? My father? Whatever it is. But you have to actually start to feel this and live this. What is success to you? No one else. Got to remember, as a child, our subconscious mind is the most fertile thing in the world. Whatever someone planted there when we were babies and kids grew. And you got to remember who was planting these seeds. Our parents, our grandparents, our teachers, our religious leaders, our friends. I should take away my friends. They didn't plant many good seeds. A lot of weeds from them guys. All right. But you think about it, our life was pretty much people were trying to come in and drop little seeds into our subconscious of, hey, here's what I think you should grow into. Here's what I think you should do. Here, Tommy, here's what we do as Hilkins, and here's what our family has always done. And don't step out of this. And, you know, it's planted in your subconscious mind. So you start to become this guy, and you start to look now, and you're measuring what they told you against what you feel, and you feel unsuccessful. But the reality is, right now, every one of you right here, right now, is completely successful. You're successful. We live in the greatest country in the world, no matter what havoc is going on. Uh-oh, hey! What is that, the Kentucky Derby? All right, thanks, Chris. Way to go. You couldn't have did that on like mute? All right, here we go. Way to go. This is great. We're going places, tabbies, tabbers, tabites. So what is success? Pretty much what you said. To me, the greatest lesson I learned from one of my mentors, someone I still listen to, still read all the time, Earl Nightingale. Show of hands, Earl Nightingale? Fantastic. If you get a chance, read the book, Lead the Field. Greatest book to me ever written. For motivation, for thinking, just so simplistic. Lead the Field, Earl Nightingale. The progressive realization of a worthy ideal. What does that mean to you? Not a lot. Progressive. Going after what you want step by step. Literally knowing what you want and taking the first step. See, if you can't see your goal, because if it's out of reach, as you go up each step, you take one step, you'll start to get closer. And as you get closer, you get closer, you get closer. So it's a step by step process. You can have whatever you want if you just follow this process. So go after it step by step. Realization, actually starting to see yourself, realizing it. You actually start to feel like, well, I'm getting closer. I know I'm getting there. You actually start to feel yourself achieving it. Worthy, very important. We talked about this earlier. If you don't feel in your heart of hearts that you are worthy of your time, your energy, your sacrifice, or your money, let's face it, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. Worthiness is a big part of this whole process here. So progressive, going after it step by step, realization, actually starting to see yourself, really, really realizing it, and worthy of your time, energy, sacrifice, or money. And a worthy ideal, we talked about this earlier. An idea that you fall in love with. Think about how powerful it is when you fall in love with something or someone. It's the most powerful force on the planet. It's an energy that is so incredible that it'll do anything for you. If it's a person or it's a thing, if you actually fall in love with it, you will actually start to attract it into your life. The energy you put out towards it's going to be so powerful that the energy starting to come back is going to be just as powerful. So what you have to do is, you understand, everything you are seeking in this world, everything you want, wants you in return. The life you are seeking is and always has been seeking you in return. I love that. Because there's a world out there. If you're sitting and dreaming and you see yourself somewhere, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. It makes you feel good. It makes you happy. So my question is, if you're not happy and you're not seeing it and you're not living it, the question is why? Why? Why are you not happy? What are you not doing to achieve what you want, to have this thing we call happiness? So an idea that you actually fall in love with. On the back of the paper, we can do a little process right now. Something I learned from my man Zig. If everything in success is a consistent, persistent process, I wanted to find out, just like baking a cake, what is the process? If you needed to make a cake, wouldn't you look and see what you needed? See, everybody looks at the end result, right? The end result is a cake. But if you break down the cake, what is it? It's sugar, it's flour, it's milk, it's butter, it's icing, whatever it might be. The end result that you see. But everything, like I said, is cause and effect. What caused that cake to happen was we followed a process. We put the oven on, we got the blender out, we got the mixer out, we got the sugar, the flour, the cake. We started this process of making the cake. Now I'm going to tell a little personal story of what a process worked in my life. Not looking to make any big deal of it, but at 49 years old, I decided I was going to run a marathon. That was it's coming up on 4 years ago. Now, I had no idea how to run a marathon, but I just had this idea. I was literally driving up on Route 23. I had Tony Robbins on, and he said, I'm trying to think about what the words were that hit me at the time, but, can you do it? Well, can I? It was constant and never-ending improvement. That's what I was listening to the CD. So I pulled over, and I said, you know what? I got to do something to challenge myself. I'm going to run a marathon. Right on Route 23, Pompton Plains. There was a Sports Authority and a Borders. I went into the Sports Authority. I bought a pair of sneakers. Never knew anything about it. Went into Borders. They had a book called The Non-Runner's Guide to Marathon Training. Home run, right? Non-runner's guide. Never ran anywhere. It's the longest I've ever run without somebody chasing me. It's the God's honest truth. So there it was. I had them both. So I get this book, The Non-Runner's Guide, and I'm saying, okay, I need a guide. I don't know how to run a marathon. I don't know how to run. So I open up the book and I look, and the first page says, do not pass this page. Later on, I'll tell you why. Do not pass this page. It says, can you right now run 3 miles? So I'm like, I don't know. I will try. So that was my first thing that I had to do in this thing called the process of a marathon. So I went out, I drove my car 1.5 miles out, put a stick, came back. Came back, ran out 1.5 miles, ran back, dead, hurting. Next day, woke up in full pain. But on that page, I did exactly what it said. The process had begun. So now let me fast forward. At the end of this 16 weeks, by the way, that Wednesday, I went home that day, I got online, and I signed up for the Atlantic City Marathon. I had 16 weeks, like 3 or 4 days to train. But the book was only 16 weeks. So that Monday, this was all the piece, it just fell right into place. I had 16 weeks. That Wednesday, that Monday, I had to start training. So I did my three miles. Now, the reason I bring this up in the process and how I went through this process was, at the end of this process, I ended up running 400 miles in 16 weeks. 400 miles. Now, Steve, if I opened up the book and the last page said, Tommy, you're going to have to run 400 miles, would I have done it? Hell no. Right. So what I had to do was, and thank goodness, because usually I do that, but they said, go 1 week at a time, follow the process. My dream, my goal was to run a marathon. So what happens is, I go out and I do the 3 miles, and it's congratulations, go to week 1. Now I had to run 4 times. 3, 4, 3, 5. 4 times in 1 week. 3 miles, 4 miles, 3 miles, 3, 4, 3, 5. So what happened with the process? First day I had to run 3. Beautiful. Now I got to run 4. Wow, I never ran 4 before in my life, but it's just 1 more than the 3. So now the process has begun. I do the 4. So now I come up and it's like, wow, I got to go to 5. Well, you ran 4, just run another one. The whole process kept evolving. At the end, it worked out. I was running 20-mile runs. I had to run 3 20-mile runs before I got to the marathon. This isn't about me. Really, what I'm talking about is the process that I used to run a marathon. There was a process. Literally, by the end, it was 16 weeks, 400 miles of training, and I ran 26.2 miles. It was the greatest day. It was October 19th. My daughter met me at the starting line. My daughter, Rebecca. Someday you'll meet her. She's the best. She said, are you ready? And I said, I was ready the day I decided to do this. Because nobody could run 400 miles without being ready to do it.